Well, hello there. This is vocab for Chapter 12 of the amazing Orange Book that we have received in Social Studies class. Anyway, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 terms in Chapter 12. Some have been highlighted in blue and some have been bolded in black. Anyways, here's a quick overview of each of the vocab terms and what they mean and a possible example. Neutrality is a policy of not choosing sides in a dispute or war between other countries. So, what does this really mean? If Emil was fighting Gabe, and I didn't really want to get attacked by either of them, I would stay out of it. Not saying Emil or Gabe would ever fight. I don't know why that idea came to mind. We're just going to stop there. Anywho, I wouldn't choose a side. The possible benefits to this are that I am at less risk of just being pulled into the war and getting attacked. Whereas if I go into the war and side with one group, then I will be attacked by the other one and I might not have any gain. So that's mostly what neutrality is. An example is how the French and Great Britain were fighting and America did not join that war. This was for the benefit of not having to pay for a expensive war. Isolationism is a policy of avoiding political or military agreements with other countries. So, like the word that's in it, isolation is taking yourself away from others. It's being alone. So isolationism is just a policy of basically setting your part alone from other groups. There are possible benefits to this, like if they get in a war, you're not immediately pulled in and you can make a separate choice because you're not attached to any policies. A not so great thing of this is you are alone, so if someone doesn't like you and they just want to attack you, you don't have anyone particularly siding with you. Now we are on to an embargo, which is a government order that forbids trade with another country. So we covered this in part 2. And an embargo just means that if Great Britain and France are trading, but Great Britain doesn't like that, they can say, we have an embargo, which means that Great Britain cannot trade with France. And that's the thing. So, America used this by employing an embargo and between America and Great Britain, because Great Britain was seizing ships. So, was seizing American ships that traded with France. So, as a way of kind of punishing Great Britain, which ultimately ended up kind of punishing themselves as well, they created this embargo. A blockade is a closing off of an area to keep people or supplies from going in or out. So, like the root in the word block, if I stick my hand out, or I stand in front of the door, you can't get in. I blocked you out. Let's say there was a delicious snack inside. You cannot get in there to go have that delicious snack. So I'm closing off the classroom to keep you from getting in to take my supplies. So a blockade keeps supplies from getting in or out or both. An example of this was stuff. Monroe Doctrine. President James Monroe Declaration in 1823 that the Western Hemisphere has no longer open to European colonization. So this meant that European countries could not colonize in the Western Hemisphere. This was very important because it was still kind of the era of exploration of the Western Hemisphere, and this closed it off. There's not really an example that can go with this. And then now we have the term liberated, which means freed from imprisonment. So if someone was locked in prison and they'd served their sentence and they were freed, that would be they were liberated. This could be used if American sailors were being held for ransom by Barbary nations, which would mean that when the ransom was paid, they would be liberated. They would be freed from that imprisonment. Pursue. Follow in order to catch. You should probably know what this means, but if you do not, if we're playing tag and I'm it, you're going to run from me. and I'm going to follow you in order to tag you, or in this case, as the word says, catch. So if one group of a nation's army was trying to get the other one to capture them, they would follow them in order to catch them. That's an example of pursue. Signifies means an indication of something. Be an indication of something, as I might add. This means that something kind of displays a message of something else. Like if I say my dog is a mammal, then I ask, what is your dog? That kind of signifies that it's probably a mammal. It's another word that's kind of similar to other words. We'll say that. Look it up in a thesaurus. I'm too lazy. Anywho, that is all we have for the vocab. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you again.